Hey everybody, so of course my name is Jessica and this is Thursday's blogging tips. I should probably go and change the banner, but oh well. So each Thursday, oh my goodness, we'll bring you a new tip about the blogging world or maybe something else. It just depends on what's going on, and I have completely lost my post. Not exactly sure what I did with it. All right, so this week we're going to be talking about templates. So the first thing we're going to do, this is great for somebody who is just deciding to get in to blogging, or if you want to update your template, if you just have one via Blogger, that's just the free little template that you get and it's nothing fancy or anything and you want to change it. This is a great free way to do this. All of the templates that you have ever seen on my site have all been from this one way, shape, or form. And then I just go through and edit whatever I don't want via the banners or the backgrounds or the colors and stuff like that. I've learned a lot about HTML code just from trial and error, basically. All right, so first off, I'm going to share screen with you guys. Go to my desktop here. And this is basically what you'll see on Blogger. And of course, there's my three sites. First, I know absolutely nothing about WordPress. So if you guys have questions about WordPress, I am not the person to help you on that whatsoever. All right, it looks like my little mole is back here behind me, but of course you can't see her. All right, so if you want to create a site, so your first thing is, of course, to start a new blog and to give it a name. So we'll just call this one, I have no idea. Well, I'm reading Legend right now, so we'll just call this Legend Library. And then you have to give it a blogspot thing through a custom domain, and then it will tell you if it's available. And this, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. You can just leave it like that. And then you create your blog. And then you can actually go through this. If you want a .com, it will actually search for you, as you can see here, and then it will tell you, like, here's your stuff, and then you can buy it for the $12 a year, and go through that. That's actually how I did mine back when it was via GoDaddy. I pay like $10 a year for my .com. If this is going to just be a hobby, the only reason why I state to do the .com is just for the fact that it just makes it a little bit easier to tell people what your website is, because it's a lot easier to tell people that it's crossreviews.com versus crossreviews.blogspot.com, but it's up to you on how much you decide you want to spend. All right, so the next is you just go to the template, and then of course now what do you do now? Because right now this is what this looks like. It looks like this is just a simple, crappy, free stuff. All right, so the site that I use is actually a btemplates.com, and they've got a whole bunch of 324 different completely free templates, and you can pretty much go over here and pick what you want. From my side, I always make sure I have a drop-down menu, which I can show you what that is. You can preview them here, and this is a drop-down menu where you have little drop-downs. This, of course, is this one's like a store. Those are kind of hard because when you go into it, you have to deal with like your PayPal and direct links to everything, and it can be a nightmare. But for this one, we're just going to use something simple. Let's see, I saw this one with like the cupcakes down here. We'll just use this one. This is what it looks like. This is buttercream. This one's fairly skinny. And this is all set up, but it's cute. Let's try to see if we can find something a little bit wider. You can also come up here and always just like search books. Actually, kind of like this one. So this is scrapbook and a cupcake. They all come with their own names. You don't have to use those. So we're just going to use this, and this has this little thing up here for your pages. So you're just going to download it. All right, so then that's now saved. And what you're going to do here is you're going to go up here to back up and restore. You don't need to download the full template because, of course, there's nothing there. And then you just need to go search for it. So let's see. Of course, I have all this crap on here. I'm not sure if you can see this this pop-up here, but if you can, there you'll have a little folder that says the scrapbook and a cupcake, and then the file that you want is going to end in XML, and then you just double click that, and then you click upload. And if it's new, it should upload just fine. So here's the new site now for the Legend Library, and say that now you want your name of your site to be more geared towards your template. You can go down here to settings and you can actually edit it. If you're going to edit after you found a .com, I would say doing this section first with what you want to call it, because regardless of what name you want to call it, if that specific Blogspot address isn't available, it's not really going to help you any. So let's call this library and a cupcake. Let's see if that's taken. And of course, I put spaces in here. You're not supposed to do that. And then save, and we got lucky. So then we can just come up here and we can just and a cupcake. All right. Now you can attempt to put stuff in here. This is about just like what your site's about. Welcome to my library, and why don't you stop a cupcake? Try and keep that short, because in some of these, as you can see here, you know, it cuts it off because it's just supposed to fit in this little bitty thing of ribbon. So then we'll just cut this out here and it should fit. Then you can just basically go back and forth and see if it fits in there. It's perfect. This, I don't really like the way that this looks. I would prefer it to be white just so you can see it easier. But this is basically just what it's going to look like. And it comes fully formed. So like here you have your little cupcakes for all your sidebar stuff, and your pages go up here. And that's pretty much all it is to do an actual template. It's fairly simple. The next thing you're going to want to look at is how this sets. This is your actual layout. So this is where your main blog posts are going to be for your stories. And then this is all your sidebar content. What you're going to want to do is make sure that you can actually like move these around. Because if you can't, it can get fairly complicated, because sometimes some of them, this section will be laying on top of this, and then you can't, like you can move stuff out of it, but you can't move stuff into it. And it can turn into a nightmare pretty quickly. So we don't need to save our template there. Okay, now say that this is going to go into a little bit more difficult stuff. So if you're just looking for a simple template to put on there, you know, there's your thing to do. If you want to go more in depth to it, this will do a little bit of that. If you have any questions, just let me know. Drop me a line on Facebook or Twitter, or comment to this post or whatever, and I'll be more than happy to help you. But I want to change that because this is really cute. I want to change this here. So we're going to look for the header. And the easiest thing to do is just to search for it so that you don't have to search everywhere for it. And since that didn't work, you can actually like search for what it actually says. Because we're looking, there's the header. Let's see, cupcake. So let's see, we'll just like go through here and see if that pops up anywhere. And I don't think it is. Okay, so since that's not working, it may not be in the template because, or in the actual HTML code, because sometimes it's not. As I said, you know, that sometimes I'm still learning a lot of stuff, even though that I've had my site for quite a while. It's still sometimes really hard to find stuff in a template. And then every time I change the template, then I have to find stuff all over again because it's not the same. So let's see if anything says welcome. If it does this, like you're making space, that just means that that's nowhere in the actual template. So that's not going to help us any. So we can look for color. So like here's the background color, visited color, hover color, header color. So there we go. So header wrapper, header inner, header H1. And the easiest thing to do with this is basically just know your color code. So I want this to be white. So you can actually look up the white, and these are called hex codes. So a white hex code number is Fs. So it's just nothing but 6 Fs. So we're just going to come in here. We're just going to highlight one of these. We're just going to put Fs. And then you click save. And then wait till that's done, and then you just come over here, and there it's done. Okay, now see that now you can't read it at all. All right, so now I'm going to see, now that we've found which one it is, I'm going to put zeros in it, see which is black. See if that works better. And you can basically just play around with it until you find a color that works. See, the black, that looks much better. So I'm actually going to take all of this over here and change all of that to black. So now we're looking for the color, but we're looking for the sidebar. Navigation menu, wrapper, post, date header. And most of this is all just nothing but trial and error through all of it, of where you basically just go through and see if that's what you're looking for. And then if it's not, then you just, you know, put it back to what it was, which I'm on a Mac, so I know that I can press Command Z and it will undo whatever I had just done. So that's pretty simple. But now that's done, so now we're going to go, and we'll just go make a post. So you just click New Post. Nothing will be on here. This is your title. This is your post. If you don't want the whole entire thing to come up, I'm not sure. I think this one has the read more on it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that says home. I'm not sure what this is. It's something that's integrated in the post. So we'll just welcome to my library. Okay, so then we'll just do this here, welcome, here's that. You can put labels in it. For labels, I know we'll probably go through this in a different video, but I'll say it here as well. Labels you want to do as few as possible because you only have 500 total labels at this particular moment for Blogger that you can use. At one time, I was putting every single author name into the label so that people could search my site, Cross Reviews, via the author's name, and then I found out that you can only have that 500, so I stopped. For my site, the only labels that we use is what type of post it is it a review, a giveaway, those all go in there, and then is it teen, middle grade, adult, is it under all for all ages, and then we also have children's for the physical age group is how we split up all the books, and then the publisher, and then like is there extra content in it like a giveaway or an expert or you know anything like that, an author interview and stuff like that, and that's the only things that we add into it. So like for this one could just be updates, something fairly simple. You can schedule your post. So you can pick a day to schedule and then the time for it to schedule. You want to make sure that this is in your actual time zone because, of course, I'm not in Pacific time right now. I'm actually in Eastern Standard Time. And then this will actually also, there's a pop-up for Google Plus, which if you want to just do it automatically, you can just go in there and click it and then you won't get that issue anymore. If you're not in Pacific time zone, and you want to change it, I know there's a way on here somewhere. Oh, here it is. So you just need to go through to template or settings and then language and formatting and then just find your time zone. So I know when you get into doing, and then make sure you click save. When you get into doing tours and stuff, you want to make sure it's in the right time zone, or that is not going to help you very much. All right, so here's a post there. Let's see if we can make a longer post. I'm going to go grab one off of my site here. Let's see, we will just do this one, which was actually supposed to already post. Oh, that's why I didn't post, because it's sectioned for 2016. Well, that's not going to do us much good. I'll have to edit that one later. All right, so we are going to go over here and then back into library in a cupcake. And then this is your compose, so like whatever you type, it's just going to come up. If you have an HTML code or via like a tour, something like that, that's how you use that. And then I'm not going to worry about putting anything under this. I just want to see how this post looks. All right, so there's the read more. I guess they don't have read more on this. Okay, so what the read more is that this little band right here that's gray, this is called a page break, which is this thingy right here. I actually didn't know what it was when I first started, and this is basically all it does. This is the actual post on the actual site. Like if you went to the site right now, this is what you would see. You would see the whole entire thing. And that takes up a lot of space. And maybe you don't really need to see all of that on the front page. So what you do is you just pick out where you want it, where you don't want them to see all of this stuff, and then put that page break in there. And what it does is like cuts it down. So then this is your main information about this post. And now when they look at the site, you can have multiple posts in a small amount of space. I've even seen people like put them right underneath the pictures, so then all they see is the picture, which is actually sometimes a really good thing to do. But you see, now you see that it's just this little bitty post, and you've got all this extra room that you can post more. And then if they want to read it all, they can just click it, and then this is all on its own page. They can comment and all that stuff. And they can go home up here. And then it just goes back to this. So then the next thing to know about is pages. You can have 20 pages at a time, and your pages, you should always have one that is like your About Me page, and then just put, your simple information in there. And I don't know if this is set up to, okay, it's not, to do. And then make sure that you go to Layout. You can click Edit here and add the About Me, and you can actually move these around. I would say if you're using a drop-down menu, just take a peek at my site and see how to, like, what order you would want them in. But you're always going to want an About Me page, a review page, and just so people know what's going on. But there's those right there, and that looks really cute. And as you can see, you're only going to have so much space up here. So your pages, you're going to want to keep the titles of them short. Short, sweet, to the point, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, next issue, you see these two things here. These you can move, these you can't. And sometimes you can't even delete these like this. You can't delete that. The easy way to get rid of those is to get the title of it, go back to your template, click Edit Template, do your search, and put in one of the names. It will find it. I guess that has a lot of navbar. What you're looking for is this right here. All right, so where it says locked, anything that says false is not going to move. We want to switch that to true. And then there's also one for the attribution. Let's see. You can also just search for false for that matter. And just wait till you find it. Okay, there it is. So popular posts, we want that one to be true. If I can spell today. I didn't think there was that many of them. Oh, I'm still spelling stuff wrong. Oh no, it's supposed to be false. See, now you can tell that I haven't done this in a while. All right. You'll be able to see here on here. Okay, so I changed those to false. It's supposed to say false, but they said true. All right, so now come back in here and redo this. And now, of course, those are movable. All of these are movable. There you go. So now if you want, you still can't delete it, but you can at least move it out of your way. The best thing to do, like if you don't want to use these nav bars and stuff, because they're kind of worthless, is just shove them under the blog post because you're never going to use them anyway. Then they're there, they're out of your way, and you don't have to worry about it. And this you can just leave empty. You don't have to put anything there. And after the nav bar, you can just click it off. And then it's done. It wasn't showing up anyway, but there's always a chance. So now those are completely out of your way. But then other things that you can do, I mean, you can pretty much do whatever you want. This is popular posts. It will slowly start generating posts after you add some. These normally you can just come in and delete them if you don't need it. And then you can always add them back later. This is your blog rule. Same thing. It's just like an HTML little thingy. Your about thing, you can put a short little simple thing of whatever wouldn't fit in the header in there. This is your archive. If you have a lot of posts, I would say doing the drop-down menu is the simplest thing. If you don't have a lot of posts a week, you could do it by the week or by the month. So it just depends on what you want to do. Labels, you can have all the labels. I usually do them alphabetically and then just do all the labels since I don't have that many. And then, of course, then you have the About Me that you can actually remove as well. The About Me will generate from Google, your Google Plus account. But here's this. See, now it's like really little. And there's the popular post because it's like the only ones that are on there. But here's your archive. And then people can like go through and click it. Now, the one thing that I see that this template doesn't have is a search bar. I end up using the search bar not all that much. The search bar is more for somebody else that's searching for stuff on your site. I do have one on my site, as you can see here, but it doesn't work on mobile. If you're on the physical mobile thing, like on my iPhone, I can go through it and click the desktop version, and then if I go to search for it, it kicks me right back into the mobile, and it won't search anything. So personally, I mean, for my site, I'm going to leave it on there, but I don't really know if anybody uses it. It doesn't keep tabs of how many people have searched for anything. So it's kind of up to you. Personally, I think this one looks perfectly fine without it. It looks actually pretty adorable. But they have tons and tons of different banners. Like here's this one that I did for Buried in Reading, that this is just a list of books I own and books I'm getting rid of. Then also my pagan one, this template was on there, and I just went through and changed all this to white because it was all gray, and put the banner down here and stuff. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So I hope that this video has helped you. Let me stop that. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will catch you guys next Thursday.